My name is Clara. I'm a 35-year-old working mom. I married Alex, my college sweetheart, when I was 25. Our daughter, Lily, is 8 years old. Our marriage, which should have been smooth sailing, is anything but predictable. Hey, we're having another New Year's gathering at my parents' house next year. Can you help out with a few things? That's what Alex casually dropped on me. I was looking through some photos I always carry with me when I stopped and stared at Alex, his comments circling in my head. My mood instantly plummeted. It's just a New Year's gathering, but it's a big deal for me. For me, the New Year's gathering at my in-laws is the most depressing event of the year. Ever since we got married, it's been a constant struggle, the never-ending snide remarks from my mother-in-law and the surprise visits. I've been caught off guard more times than I can count. I even had to take unexpected days off work because of her sudden visits. But those are minor issues compared to the New Year's gathering. My mother-in-law frequently invades our home, but we only go to her place once a year for this event. It might be less frequent, but it's intense. What do I mean by intense? I can answer that right away. It's a harassment festival. Unlike her usual passive-aggressive comments, these are blatant and abundant. One year, I was made to prepare a ton of food for the New Year's gathering. What is this? It looks awful. Is this what you feed my grandson every day? My mother-in-law criticized the food I made. I'm sorry. If you don't like it, don't eat it. I held back my frustration and tried to laugh it off. Only here, it's rude to serve this when we have other family members coming over. I'm embarrassed. You're my son's wife, and she just kept on criticizing. But when the relatives arrived, she served the very dishes she had complained about and even said, I made this because my daughter-in-law is so useless. There was no opportunity or space to correct her. I was constantly ordered around by my mother-in-law, wash the dishes, make some snack, do this, do that. And she happily ate the food. Alex, who didn't lift a finger, also ate, frustrated. I mentally hosted a boxing match to get through it. Another year, I had almost forgotten about the New Year's gathering when my cell phone rang. The display showed mother-in-law. I'll just pretend I didn't notice. I turned the phone face down. After a while, it stopped ringing. Just when I thought I was safe, the landline rang again. The display showed mother-in-law. I let out a mental scream and reluctantly answered the phone. Hello, you're so slow. Answer my calls immediately, my mother-in-law scolded. I wish I could say I'm busy too, but being the timid person I am, all I could do was keep apologizing. My mother-in-law announced another New Year's gathering. She wants me to come early and help with the preparations. Why me? Don't get me wrong. I'm happy to help. I feel guilty leaving it all to her. But shouldn't your son, Alex, help too? When I mentioned this, she said, Alex works hard every day, Are you a devil for wanting him to help? We're both working full-time, Remote work might seem easy, it's not. Plus, Alex doesn't care about housework or childcare. He does nothing. He lives like he's a carefree bachelor, totally doing his own thing. I'm the one who's really pulling the weight here. Maybe it's hard for her generation to understand that. Reluctantly, I headed to my in-laws' house early that morning. I had a bad feeling about this, and sure enough, it was as I expected. Cleaning, laundry, shopping, yard work. I was exhausted from being treated like a maid by my mother-in-law. By the way, my father-in-law couldn't care less. He's like a ghost. After finishing all the tasks, now comes the cooking instructions. I muster my remaining energy to cook, and as usual, mother-in-law sighs at the sight of my food. It looks as unappetizing as ever. Don't eat if you don't like it. I apologize. I'll do better next time. Huh. I accidentally said what I was really thinking instead of the polite response. I tried to cover it up, but by the time the relatives arrive, I'm at my limit. I work non-stop in the noisy gathering. I barely get to eat. By the end of it all, I'm a walking zombie. So I have zero good memories of these New Year's gatherings. But it's a once-a-year celebration. If I can endure that, the rest is just minor annoyances. But that one time is unbearable. How depressing. I sigh deeply as I compare the carefree Alex, who's humming away, with the secret photo I have. Then the day of the New Year's gathering arrives. Happy New Year. Welcome. Your uncles are waiting. Come on in. Oh, you go buy this. As my husband and daughter greet everyone, I'm completely ignored. Mother-in-law pushes them into the house and emotionlessly hands me a note. It's already 3 days into the new year. The supermarket is open. It's definitely open. But when I look at the note, I scream. 10 kilograms of detergent. They're having a New Year's sale, so it's cheap. A minimum of 50 cans of beer. You know how much our family loves to drink. It'll be gone in no time. Ignoring my astonishment, mother-in-law quickly goes inside. Hey, Alex. My silent plea goes unanswered. Alex is already drunk. I sigh and head out to do the shopping. When I return, struggling with heavy bags, the atmosphere inside is lively. Mom, welcome back. Over here, over here. My daughter Lily waves at me with a smile. Ah, finally a moment to rest, I think. Just as I'm about to sit down, I notice something. There's an array of food on the table. It's an impressive sushi platter. Each person has one in front of them. Wow, that looks delicious. Tuna, shrimp, salmon. Even to an untrained eye, it's clearly high-end. As I sit next to Lily, salivating, I realize something. Wait, where's mine? That's right, there's no extra sushi platter anywhere. Why? Where's my high-end sushi? If you don't have any, you can have some of mine, my kind daughter offers. But I can't accept food from a child. As I'm pondering this, mother-in-law says, "Ah, yes, I forgot about yours," and leaves the room. She returns, turns with something, and places it in front of me. Here, this is yours. Is this it? It's a scattered sushi box. I look at the box and see a sticker. My eyes widen in shock. It's from the supermarket where I just went shopping. The price? $7. Everyone else gets high-end sushi, and I get cheap supermarket sushi, and it's even marked down because it's close to the expiration date. What's going on here? Mother-in-law laughs and says, "Special service. You have a small appetite after all." Even Alex is laughing, saying, "Lucky you." Mother-in-law grins maliciously, and Alex chuckles frivolously. Even though the relatives and father-in-law are visibly uncomfortable with this blatant mistreatment, no one dares to speak up against mother-in-law. I see the heavy shopping was just the beginning. So, this is the main event of the annual harassment. The moment I see Lily's concerned face looking up at me, my anger explodes. I let out a big sigh and adopt an apologetic posture. Seeing this, mother-in-law laughs triumphantly. "Oh, what are you apologizing for? You want the fancy sushi that badly. This is no joke. Let's make it clear that this isn't an apology." I smile warmly. I'm announcing the end of the Good Wife campaign. Mother-in-law frowns at my sudden declaration. Ignoring her, I leave the room. I head to the kitchen, pick up the shopping bags, and return. Hey everyone, drinks are here. I stack the packs of canned beer on the table. Everyone is stunned. I say cheerfully, "Wow, it was tough being sent out to buy all this." As soon as I got here, Alex didn't help at all. He's just eating and drinking with you all. Isn't it amazing that I bought all this in 22 ounces of detergent? I'm so great. Go ahead, everyone, drink up. The beer I bought is delicious, by the way. It's on me. But that's okay. It's just another one of mother-in-law's orders. Let's drink. Let's drink. Enjoy the beer I paid for. I hand out canned beers to everyone except Lily. It's warm inside, and a cold beer should be perfect for winter. What's the matter, everyone? You're so quiet. You never say anything when I'm working hard every New Year's party. So, are you staying silent now too? Come on, drink and make noise. I'll prepare the snacks, do the dishes, and go buy the drinks this year too. Just ignore me and have fun. I'm getting out of breath from talking so much. I look around the room. It's as quiet as a funeral. What are you saying? Mother-in-law breaks the silence. What is it, mother-in-law? Do you even understand your duties as a wife? You're not a guest. You should be moving and helping. What era are you talking about? Are you stuck in the past? Actually, even in ancient times, roles were more evenly distributed. I don't really know, but sure, I'm Alex's wife, and I understand that helping is natural. But what I'm doing is way beyond helping, isn't it? You're not doing anything, mother-in-law, and I'm the only one moving. I'm basically a maid. That's not true. I'm just educating my son's wife. So, discriminating against me with sushi is a part of that education. You think it's okay to discriminate against your son's wife? Oh, that's mother-in-law, falls silent, unable to respond. Hey, Clara. Alex raises his voice after mother-in-law goes quiet. I sharply glare at Alex. He flinches for a moment but manages to glare back. You know how hard it is for Mom to host the New Year's party? As my wife, it's your duty to help. Apologize to Mom. No, I cut off Alex's words. First of all, this is your home. I've been helping because it's your family. What have you been doing? You're the actual son, and you're not helping at all. You don't even know that your wife is out buying heavy stuff. What's going on? Well, if you had told me, Alex just waltzes into the house and starts eating and drinking without a care in the world. And when you see your wife being discriminated against like this, you say, lucky you. What's so lucky about this? I'm getting heated. Don't mess with me. My final shout makes Alex shrink back. Pathetic. As I glare at Alex, it's now Mom's turn to attack. You're so arrogant for a daughter-in-law. What do you think you're doing? We don't need a woman like you. Divorce immediately. Well, Alex can't argue back. A wife should just listen to her in-laws and follow her husband. Nathan, next time, marry a woman who will listen obediently. At those forceful words, my eyes light up. Oh, really? So, mother-in-law, you're a submissive wife who never goes against father-in-law. When I ask, mother-in-law retorts, of course. Well, if that's the case, I open my bag and pull something out. A photo I always carry with me makes its grand entrance. Is it just me, or can I hear triumphant trumpet music? So, obedient mother-in-law, what's this? I scatter the photos. They flutter down. Everyone's eyes widen as they see the photos. What is this? Someone shouts, probably everyone. Who is this man? They're holding hands. Hey, they're going into a hotel. Yes, the photos show mother-in-law with some unknown man. In every photo, they're holding hands, looking cozy, and some are even too explicit for children. What on earth are they doing in public? Of course, I made sure Lily couldn't see. I thought it was strange. Mother-in-law kept coming over without any real reason. It seemed odd just to come to make some snide comments, and I wondered what she was doing while leaving father-in-law alone. When mother-in-law started coming over frequently, causing me to take time off work, I noticed something. Mother-in-law would arrive at our home dressed up for no apparent reason. Suspicious, I hired a private investigator to look into her activities, and here are the results. Mom, what is this? It's not what it looks like. Mother-in-law desperately tries to explain to a skeptical Alex and relatives, but the evidence speaks louder than words. There is irrefutable evidence right in front of me. No one believes mother-in-law. In a panic, mother-in-law turns to father-in-law. You believe me, right? This isn't what it looks like. What's not what it looks like? Father-in-law looks down at a desperate mother-in-law. His eyes are cold, snake-like. Usually, father-in-law is so unobtrusive, you barely notice him. But now, he's genuinely angry. A strange sound comes from my mother-in-law's throat. You think you can talk your way out of this with all this evidence? It's not. It's not what it looks like. Father-in-law brushes off mother-in-law's hand and approaches me. I'm really sorry for everything. I was led to believe you were happy to do all this work. Even if that were true, it was wrong to let you do it all alone. I apologize. He offers a deep apology. Following his lead, the relatives also hurriedly apologize. Would you mind giving me those incriminating photos? Of course, I have the data, so I can provide as many as you need. Father-in-law nods apologetically, collects all the photos, and leaves the room. Wait for me. Mother-in-law's pitiful voice trails off as she follows father-in-law out of the room. The rest of us, left behind, start cleaning up without a word. We pack the leftover food into containers, wash the dishes, and wipe down the tables. Even tidying the messy room, work I had always done alone, becomes a group effort. This year, it was easy and incredibly fulfilling. Cleaning is actually fun when everyone pitches in. I said everyone, and everyone gave a wry smile. A while after that New Year's gathering where I had spectacularly rebelled, I got a call from father-in-law. He and mother-in-law had finalized their divorce. Mother-in-law, kicked out of the house, had apparently turned to her affair partner for support. But when father-in-law demanded alimony in the divorce, he lived in the apartment we rented as a couple, which I had always paid for since before we were married. So it's only natural that Alex should be the one to leave. He seems to think we can start over, but it's too late. Alex had been able to spend money freely only because of my earnings. Now that he has to pay his own rent, He's apparently broke and living in a cheap apartment. He's struggling to do everything himself and often comes crying to me for help. Of course, I ignore him. In the aftermath of the New Year's gathering, life settled into a new normal. Alex, now living in a cheap apartment, struggled to navigate the responsibilities he had previously overlooked. His carefree bachelor lifestyle collided with the harsh reality of financial constraints and household chores. Meanwhile, Lily and I found solace in our routine without the oppressive weight of constant criticism and discrimination. Our home became a haven, free from the toxic atmosphere that had lingered for far too long. Lily, resilient and adaptable, thrived in the newfound tranquility. As the seasons changed, so did the dynamics of our lives. I focused on my work, providing a stable environment for Lily. Despite the challenges of single parenthood, the absence of constant judgment and mistreatment brought a sense of liberation. Lily and I grew closer, forging a bond that was unbreakable. Occasionally, Alex would reach out, seeking help or expressing regret for the choices he had made. But each time I stood firm, maintaining the boundaries that protected the newfound peace in our lives. The scars of the past were healing, and I was determined to create a positive and nurturing environment for Lily. Over time, our story became one of resilience, growth, and the triumph of self-worth. Lily continued to flourish in school, displaying a strength that mirrored the journey we had undertaken together. As the years passed, the memory of that transformative New Year's gathering served as a reminder of the strength within us and the importance of standing up for our own happiness. And so, our lives moved forward, shaped by the lessons learned from the trials we faced. The echoes of the past gradually faded, replaced by a sense of empowerment and the promise of a brighter future. In the tapestry of our shared experiences, the threads of adversity were woven into a narrative of strength, courage, and the enduring power of resilience.